you.
Welcome to our preview of racing today down in the Eastern Cape. A slight change, of course, and that has precipitated us to move the preview from last night to this morning. So apologies to those that would regularly view the Nino Podesta slot on a Thursday evening, but we pushed it forward to a Friday morning to allow Nino just a little bit more time to examine the form and change the selections from the turf to the Polytrack. Good morning to you, Nino. How are you today?
Good morning, Nico. Yeah, I'm good. Just a bit find it strange doing it early in the morning.
Correct. Well, yeah, unfortunately, the change came through quite late yesterday. So we wanted to just give you a little bit of time to look at the form again. Quite a few changes in terms of the scratchings. I won't go through all the jockey changes, but suffice to say that Lyle Hewitson is not riding today. And the first race, Nino, which was previously a work riders race, is now open to fully fledged jockeys. The track condition is standard. It's obviously on the Polytrack. They've had 38 millimeters of rain in the last 7 days, but more importantly, 33 of those 38 have fallen in the last 24 hours. So it's been pelting down in Gqeberha in the last 24 hours.
Yeah, Nico, it has. And just by the way, I think Muzieni has taken over all Lyle's Lyle Hewitton's rides.
Okay,
It seems that way.
Yeah, it is. Muzieni takes over from Lyle Hewitton. So Muzi's got the call up there. And obviously all the first race riders have changed from work riders to fully fledged riders. Well, let's go through your selections, Nina. I'm going to bring up your selections and then we'll show your bipod a bit later on. But here are your race by race selections for today's meeting on the Polytrack. 8 races are carded. Let's go to that first race, which was originally a work riders race. And we discussed this a little briefly when it was a work riders race. And here you've gone for the 3 Own Your Fate from the Gavin Smith yard to crack his maiden. He's having his 12th try at it, but do you think he'll go on and win it?
Nico, morning. This is the one race where I actually changed my selection. And had it been on the turf, I would have probably tipped number 1 to win. Strong casher that brings some form. But now the draw becomes the problem because from the best of draws, it's gone to the worst of draws on the poly.
That's right.
So even though I think that Gavin Smith held the key to this race, I've gone with the one that Marco van Rensburg. I know Muzieni's riding the 1. Marco van Rensburg's riding number 3, Own Your Own Fate. And you know, the horse over the 14 last time, I think it was just slightly too far. She just tired late, but she's got some good form, drawn 1. And she ran third to Sonny Quinn and Life on Mars. And from I've changed because of the draw, and for that reason, I've gone for the 3 to beat the 1. And then number 5, I give a bit of a chance. That should start improving now, Chocolate. And then I'm interested in number 8. I see Richard Fourie is riding number 8 for friend Jared Ruck.
Jared Ruck, yeah. Yeah, that's an interesting jockey booking.
Yeah, very interesting jockey booking. And I remember that also in Durban with Shane Humby and well-bred Pomodoro, not too badly drawn at 9, and that could be a bit of a lurker, and also I'm going to put in my bipod.
Okay, so 3, 1, 5, and 8. I think Nino could well be on the right track here with regard to the change of tracks. And number 3, Own Your Fate, is certainly knocking on the door. Just to let you know, in the first race, that Leon Lotz unfortunately can't travel his horses through to Fairview today. So scratched a 9, Emerald Flame, and 14, Kiss Me at the Gate. Transport complications have ruled those out of the first race, which is the opening leg of the bipod. Let's go to race 2, which is the start of the Place Accumulator. It's a maiden juvenile plate over 1,000 meters. And here, Nino, you're going for the 3 Hendo Shuffle to pick up a maiden win. First run in the province, and first run obviously on the Polytrack, but Glenn Kotson is the trainer.
Yeah, Nico, again, this race, I've changed my selection again from 1 to 3 because of the poly. It's only because of the fact that I know this horse from Cape Town. A strong front runner who usually fades over the testing Kenilworth courses in Cape Town. But I think it will be perfectly suited to these fast Polytracks. I can't see it fading. I think it's going to go to the front and probably stay there. But in saying that, number one has got a strong form. If you look at Admiral Shine, she ran on the poly, she ran second to whatever next was come out to win 3 in a row and a feature race. She's run against Old Glory and Crusador, very strong horses in PE. I think that's the immediate danger. But I've also given number 7 a bit of a chance. I've included that in the bipod as well. That being a piece of my heart, who's had 2 good runs on the turf and one on the poly. But I think that the run behind Shahidi is not a... Shahidi was a struggling maiden. So I do believe that the one that's got stronger has been running against stronger. So my selection is Hinder Shuffle to beat Emerald Shine, Piece of My Heart, and 8 Severs Point.
Okay, so that's the selection there from Nino regarding race number 2. Interesting here because Admiral Kitten sired his first winner in South Africa on Tuesday, I think it was, a horse called Zuzan, won for the Matchett stable, and he is, of course, the sire of Admiral Shine, who's Nino's tipped second. But I agree with you that Hendo Shuffle, being drawn 2 on the Polytrack and being a horse that likes to go off to the front, could well be the right horse over here. Hendo Shuffle for Robert Carty and Glenn Cotson tipped to win race number 2. Let's go to the third race at 1:30. Start of the pick 6. It's a maiden juvenile over 1,600 meters. They go for this one. Let's have a look if there are any scratchings. No, there are no scratchings in the third race. Obviously, you heard from Nina that Moziyeni's taking over from Lyle Hurton. So he rides number 5, Fassi, who we got a tip for last time out. Ran a good race, Fassi, last time out. Was running on strongly to Aquaholic, the son of Visionaire. But in race 3, you've gone for your best bet of the day here, De Capo, who runs on the poly for the first time. But you think that Justin Snaith's runner for the Drakenstein stud should break his maiden today?
Well, he should, Nico. Hoping that he takes to the poly. I don't see, we've got to give horses the benefit of the doubt. It's the first time on the poly. There's no reason why he shouldn't handle the poly. He's got Richard up. He was very unlucky last time. He was very, very green, and Lyle Hurton was all over the place with him. And I think he was very unlucky not to win that race last time out. And
I remember this horse now. Yeah, I do remember it. It seemed to want to do its own thing, and it was cruising turning for home. Was this the horse that was absolutely cantering, turning for home? And
it was, and then
an inexplicably bad performance up the straight when they turned for home.
Correct, and I remember you making some kind of comment about this race, which we won't quote you on the show, but it looked like he was very green, Nico. It looked like he was cruising, and I don't know what happened, and he got beat by one of Gavin's inmates, Anything for Love. So I think he was very unlucky, and I think he should make amends here tomorrow.
Yeah, today. Second, you've gone for Arctic Advance from the Graveyard for second. He's got good form.
Yeah. He's got very good form behind Safari Blue, and especially the run behind Peace in Our World that came out to win a feature race. So also very strong form. But I was a bit disappointed last time out behind Rose of Bayou. I thought he should have run much closer to that. So that was a bit of a disappointment. He couldn't beat the filly. But in saying that, it's very well bred horse, Active War by Autumn Mist by Western Winter. And the run behind Peace in Our World really sticks out here. But is he good enough to beat the Kappa? I don't know. I don't think so. But I do believe that that's the only danger to the Kappa.
Okay, completing the quartet, you've got the Wiley Hall, number 7, My Boy Reese, and fourth you've given to Fassi, number 5.
Yeah, correct. My Boy Reese, the other, Glenn Cotson's got a deadly record in PA.
That's right.
Not to be discounted and to be taken very seriously, this horse. The form line, I think the race he ran behind the horse in Cape Town, when he ran behind behind Pomp and Power. That horse has come out. That's not a bad horse, Nico. Pomp and Power. So this could be open to any kind of improvement, and it's got to be put in for quartets and trifectas.
Okay, let's move on to the fourth race, which is a maiden over 2,000 meters. I think we do have a scratching in the fourth race in the form of number 11, Red Rules, was scratched because of the change of surface. So Red Rules is out of the fourth race. Here, your selection is number 3, Star Effect. The ex-Stenger runner is now with Gavin Smith. And obviously, Moziyeni will partner this. You like it first time on the Poly. But I noticed when you were doing your selections that you quite like Chicago West, the 2 as well.
Yeah, you know what, Nico, this was coming first time from Joburg. It had many runs, but gee whiz, this is such a week. These are all horses, maidens that have had many runs. None, it's a very weak maiden, to say the least. And most of them have, this is the kind of race that could cause an upset. And I think Chicago West at 6-1, I think it's a bit of value. I quite like this also. I liked the run before that. If you have a look at the form, it's like runs a good race every other race. It runs second behind Omar Fidget, and that form has been franked. Omar Fidget has come out to run places in after its maiden win. And then it ran third behind Prince L over the Poly. Probably last time needed the run, but it seems to prefer the Poly. And being such a weak race at 6-1, I think this could be a bit of value with the stables on form. Sharon Kotson, nice jockey booking, Louis McCoxwell. I think at 6-1 could be a nice value play. But open race, this is one of the most difficult, one of the most open races on the card.
Yeah,
Star Effect, by the way.
Yeah, Star Effect, you mentioned that one. 3 runs back, we tipped it to run dead second to Immeasurable, which it did at 20-1. But I noticed that the horse that ran third on that day, One Block, won its maiden and a maiden handicap yesterday at the Val. So the form of Star Effect has been franked from the Immeasurable run, with One Block coming out.
And also I think Spartan Warrior ran second last time out.
That's right,
in the last race.
Yeah.
So that form has been franked.
Yeah.
Spartan Warrior ran second to Bell of Belize.
Yes. Yeah. So certainly there's form to go around over there. Nino's going for that to win it. The 3 to beat 2. Then third, you've gone for the 1, Hookem. Down in trip a little bit.
Yeah, down in trip, well bred, but the stable also, Jock Stradom, they haven't been setting the track so like they're having these sporadic winners now and then, so it's a stable you take at your own peril, but
he's got his son riding for him.
Yeah, Carl Stradom. And by the way, what's the story with the apprentice jockey title? Do you know?
And it will go to Carl Stradom, will be champion apprentice. Yeah.
Because someone said that him and Ramzan are very close together.
No. Carl Stradom will win the national apprentice title.
Yeah, okay. So, last time out on the turf, maybe it was 2-4, but the run before that ran a good race on the Poly to Highway Star. So I must have a chance. Like I say, this is a very open race. In the exotics, pick sixes, you've got to take a few. And there's also a very interesting runner that I've seen money for, and I can't quite understand it, is number 12, Gravitas, the 2-year-old Justin horse, which on form should be 50-1.
Yes.
Like 5-1 in the bet, I can't work it out. It's had respiratory problems. Maybe Justin has sorted those problems out. Who knows? But
well, the interesting thing is Duke of Marmalade, a progeny of Duke of Marmalade, do run well on the Polytrack. That's the interesting thing. They do run well, but it is a 2-year-old up against the elders. And And at this time of year, I know that the 2-year-old will turn 3 in just over a week's time, but they should be getting 9 kilos from the 3-year-olds.
Correct.
And 10.5 from the 4-year-olds. And with regard to star effect, it should be getting 10.5, which means it should be carrying 49.5, and it's carrying 55. So you work it out.
Yeah, but besides that, I'm looking at the form, and there's absolutely no improvement.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, anyway, I think people are taking the chance and just not taking chances. I mean, with the Richard Fourie and Justin Snaith combination.
Yeah. Okay, that's
not for me.
Not
I
for
would
you.
probably add it in the pick 6 if I was going wide.
Yeah.
But that's about it. We need to see how this all goes.
Okay, let's move on to race 5. There's been 3 scratchings actually in race 5. You can scratch 5 Onesie, 7 Miras, and 8 Magnum Fire. They've all come out of that 5th race of the day, where you're going for number 4, Master Supreme, who's going for a hat trick of wins. This is, again, over 2,000 meters, a merit rated 90 handicap, but he seems to have taken pretty well to Quebec, but it's his first run on the Poly, Master Supreme.
Yeah, since he's come down from Joburg, he's done nothing wrong. He won over 3,000 and then last time over the 2,000. But it's the way that he runs at, at 3-1. I know August Leaves is very short in the betting at like 8-10. But I don't quite know. I mean, he's had a run in PE quite a while back over the 2-4 when he ran 4th, 7 lengths behind American Princess, but that was on the 2. He also hasn't run on the Poly yet. But I think Master Supreme, the way he runs from the front, that he's going to be even better suited to the Pollies. And I think August Leaves is going to have his work cut out to catch him. Even though I do make it a 2-horse race between the 2 of them. And then I think the only other horse that could surprise him would be Find Me Unafraid with Mulienia.
Yeah.
She ran behind some good ones, but she's got 2 lengths to find on Master Supreme, and I think she's only half a kilo better off.
And it's a 3-year-old giving the 4-year-olds a bit of weight,
Yeah, but coming back on the Poly, she's had some nice runs on the Poly, and she did run the 3rd to Global Drummer. She ran in preacher races beyond Jager Moon, Heartbreaker Tell. But I think that half a kilo swing in the weight is not going to be quite good enough to beat Master Supreme. So at 3-1, I'd rather have a bet on Master Supreme than taking the 8-10 about the August lead.
Okay. On we move to the 6th race, and here's where another one of your nap bets arrives. It's hopefully it arrives. It's certainly arrives in terms of the schedule. Race 6 is a novice plate, 1,400 meters, and here there are 3 scratchings. Numbers 3 Shades of Blue, 6 Charlie McCreevy, and 11 Opera Swing come out of this race. And just going to your selection, you're going quite strongly here for number 8, Trickster, the daughter of What a Winter. Carl Stradham rides it for Justin Snaith, but you're going quite strongly for her.
Yeah, well, this is a race, I mean, for people that believe in merit ratings, then there should be a penalty kick. She's merit rated, 97, and the next horse is 76, right? Which is Zeta Jones. That's the next highest. So what are we looking at there? 21, 10.5 kilos. She should.
Yeah. 10.5 plus the 1.5 plus the 1.5 of Stradham is 12 actually.
Yeah, well,
if you put that into it, yeah. Well, she's run against likes of Princess Keller. The thing is, she's never run on the Polytrack though. That's the only issue here with her.
Well, that we got to take on trust. Also, the other plus factor is that she comes 3 draws in now with the 3 scratching.
That's right. She'll come into 8. Yeah.
She'll come into 8 out of 9, which isn't as bad as 11 out of 12. So that.
Yeah.
But I mean, the horses she's run, like you say, anything goes. Princess Keller, she ran beyond Celtic Sea and Captain Ransom. Surely, if she's only just got to take to the Poly, and then she should pulverize this field. Right? You know, it would take a crazy person to tip against her. I mean, she's waited to win and to win easily, Nico.
Okay, your second selection there is the one right below her, Zeta Jones.
Yeah, got good form. Uh, she likes the Poly as well. Zeta Jones, she beat Swazi Queen that remember came to win a feature in PE. She's run against Musical Glitch that sprang the form. But I don't quite think she's good enough to beat Trickster. I'm then looking for a bit of improvement from the ex-de Cock runner, Lady Defiance, a well-bred horse of I Am Invincible. She had a first run, not a bad run on the Poly first time out behind the Rick. Well drawn at 3 with Greg Sheen. That could be a bit of a runner. And then utmost respect for Glenn Coxon's horse again, first time on equal. One run in PE on the turf there, and it won, and then it went to Cape Town and ran a bit of a disappointing race behind his hopper, but that TP that could be a bit of a runner if Trickster flouts the lines. Then I believe one of these three will pick up the pieces.
Okay, 8, 9, 10, and 4. Lady Defiance, as you mentioned, has had a run on the Polytrack, and she ran pretty well to Henrique, finishing 2 lengths behind. So she could be well better than her rating of 70, which she's carded at today. Let's go on to the 7th race, Nino. This is a Pinnacle Stakes. It's a sprint over 1,200 meters. Scratched here, number 5, La Bella Mia, who has unfortunately been retired from her racing career. So obviously she'll go to the paddocks. And I'm sure she'll acquit herself pretty well for Hassan Adams. She is a daughter of Gimme the Green Light, so she'll have fun producing some progeny La Bella Mia. She has been a sterling stalwart for the Madison Park outfit. 8 winners in her 45 race career. So cheers to La Bella Mia. But let's go to the selection here. Now, interesting here because many pit it as the 2-horse war between Global Drummer and World Radar. The change of surface will play a part too, but you've gone for Global Drummer and Yusei Ramzan to beat World Radar and Greg Sheen.
I think they're going to struggle to beat this horse. I do believe the thing with World Radar, Nico, I mean, she either wins or runs nowhere. So, you know, but then there's a pattern. Every time she does run the bad race, it's not striding out. You know,
yeah.
It's not striding out and then she wins. Not striding out and then she wins. And now the same thing last time, not striding out. Is she going to win tomorrow? I don't quite think she's good enough to beat Global Drummer. To me, this is a big, it's a giant of a horse. Goes to the front. I think he's put Ramzan on. First of all, I thought up the straight, Ramzan would have to only just point the horse. It's a very easy horse to ride. It goes to the front and kicks. And but now over the 12 on the Poly, it's got a bend to contend with. So, but he is drawn 2. He gets a 2.5 off. And, you know, he's had 2 runs. Look here, there's a Global Drummer. He's unbeaten on the Poly, and so is World Radar. They both had 2 runs on the Poly, and they won both runs. I believe it's a 2-horse race. I think Global Drummer will win. The fact is, will World Radar run a place, or will she run nowhere again? That's something that people will have to work out. If she comes to the course, as the horse that we know, and the ability that she's got, she could very well upstage Global Drummer.
Yeah. This horse that you've tipped for 3rd, Fly My Flag, she's decent. And she runs well on the Polytrack, eh?
She's only had 3 wins, Nico, and all of them have come on the Poly. She's had 4 runs on the Poly and won 3 of them. So here's another one. With you know, Louis McCoxwell, he's running at the top of his game. I believe he's becoming stable jockey to the Crawford stable.
Yes. Well, Callan Murray's on his way to Australia next week. So South Africa's loss is Australia's gain in terms of Callan Murray. But as we quite rightly know, when one leaves, the next generation take over. And Louis Mkotwa, I've been saying for a while now, would not be out of place having a stable jockey position in Joburg for one of the top stables. And I'm very happy that Brett Crawford has taken him on board down there, and I think he'll do extremely well. I think he's a jockey that over the years I've said is full of talent, and I'm happy to see him progressing in the ranks too. So yeah, I think that's a big runner today, Fly My Flag. I think she'll run a cracking race.
Yeah, but he's probably got a point to prove. He wants to show how good he is. So you've got to respect all the horses that Louis McCox was riding. But you know, if you look at the run, the first run when she ran 11 lengths behind Global Drummer,
Yeah,
he was basically the same weights
same
again.
weights.
You know,
Yeah, she's getting a bit. Yeah,
and you know, Global Drummer is just improving with every run, and it's a giant of a horse, and it's such a strong front runner. I think they're going to struggle to peg him back. I really do believe that this horse will win it, Nico.
Okay, so Global Drummer for Nina in the 7th race, ahead of World Radar, Fly My Flag, and the 4th place to Broadside in the 7th race. We've got one more to go, and then we'll show you the bipot numbers. Race 8 is a fillies and mares 64 handicap. It's over 1,200 meters, the final race of the day. By the way, in race 8, there are 2 scratchings now, number 6, Madame Seville, and number 16, Clock Stopper. They're out of the last race of the day. And here you're tipping Richard Fourie and Alan Creff. They've got Paris Opera to win the last race of the day, ahead of a Subterfuge, the 4.
Yeah, Nico, I don't like this race. I think it's a nightmare of a race, a minefield. You're going to have to go wide. I've made a selection. I've gone number 2, Paris Opera to beat Subterfuge. Then I might give the number 9. I think Com Naidu's or Visu's Magic a bit of a chance. And my value bet on is number 12, Hidden Springs. I would have preferred it on the turf, but I'm going to give him another chance at a big price. I think that could be the lurker in the pack here. But all in all, I mean, pick sixes, you got to go wide.
Sure,
you've got to take as many as
yeah.
you can afford to take, and maybe you can help them out here if there's anything that you've seen there.
No, well, I quite liked Paris Opera. I think she's got the profile of a horse that will do well. She's drawn pretty well. She's got Fourie on, and you know, I like that form of Paris Opera. I think she runs well on the poly too, so I'm pretty happy with her as your top selection. I think you've gone for the right horse. Is there anything else that creeps out of the page? I don't really think so. A lot of the horses that have got good form are drawn badly.
Correct. Colin Dixon, for instance, a 2-year-old, she does get allowance.
Yeah, you know, that's drawn horrifically as a 2-year-old. I wouldn't be going for that in a hurry.
Yeah, drawn 16. Then you got Olivine, which I don't give much of a chance, drawn 18.
Yeah.
Decadent Lady, don't you know that horse from Joburg, the ex-Cornish Speed horse? It always wins at 100 to 1.
Decadent, yeah, it always wins at a big price. Yeah, she's fairly decent on her day, but again, she has had a run on the poly in Durban, but that's very different to the poly at Fairview. Yeah, she is having her first run, drawn 10. Yeah, you've got to be chucking her in, as well as you've got to be chucking in the horse that Carl Stradham's riding, Sweet Karma, the 14.
Yeah.
You know, I think you've got to put that in as well.
In the pick six, I would definitely put that in, and I would put a horse called In Full Bloom in as well.
I think you've got to put In Full Bloom in. So that is wide open in terms of the pick six there, but I do like your first selection there. I think that will go close to winning it. Richard Fourie riding for the Creef Yard, the 2 Paris Opera. Right, Nino, we're going to be moving on in a second. I'll bring up your interesting news with regard to the bipot, and then your best bets and value bet for the day. So do you want to take us through the bipot? How much are you spending on your bipot on the day?
Bipot is 72 Rand, I think, but I'm giving the people a bit of leeway to add horses that they like. It becomes it's a 72 Rand per, okay?
Right. And just tell us what you're going for then. I'll bring up the slide as you are. So read out your bipot. So I think it's 72 Rand, you said. How are you playing it?
Well, the first leg I'm putting in 4 horses, 1, 3, 5, and 8, which is Strong Catcher, Own Your Fate, Chocolate, and my value bet, or my lurker number 8, Quistador. And maybe if there's anything else that you want to advise the people to put in, maybe a horse like Quest d'Ivoire, but she's badly drawn now. And Step It Up Baby would have been a horse I gave a chance if it was on the turf. She's got bad form on the poly. So I'm going with 4 horses. I don't know if there's anything else that needs to be added in. This is
no, I'm happy with those. Race. I'm happy with those. Smaller perms, you might get away with 1 and 3 even, Nino.
Yeah, I would have thought so as well.
Yeah, but 1, 3, 5 and 8's fine. But yeah.
I initially thought the same, Nico, 1 and 3, but then, it seems that it's a small perm and maybe we can get a result in the first. I've added in the other 2 horses just in case the bipod starts with a bit of a bomb result.
Okay. Second leg, 1, 3 and 7 there.
Second leg, I've put all 3. I don't know, people might get away. I'm sure they'll get away with just 1 and 3 here as well. But I've gone Admiral Shine in the shuffle and Piece of My Heart, just on the basis that I think if I double up and I get 2 out of 3, which is better than 1 out of 2, because 1 out of 2 is like a 50%, and 2 out of 3 is 66.
Yeah.
So I've added in the 7 just in case it splits the 1 and the 3. But I'm sure that 1 and 3 people will survive. I don't know if they'll double up, but they will survive the bipod.
Then you've gone Banker de Capo, and that is...
I've bankered de Capo.
The next leg, Chicago Western Star Effect, 2 and 3.
Only 2 horses. That's a 2 I like, 2 and 3. Maybe people might want to add Hookham or King of the Moment. I don't. But I'm very happy with 2 and 3. And then I'm putting 3 horses in the next leg. I'm putting in Master Supreme, August Leave, and Find Me Unafraid.
Okay, and then the last leg you're bankering.
I'm banking. I have to bank Trickster.
Yeah, she's got the profile of a horse that will do well. And Carl Stradham, as you say. And what you might have been referring to earlier with Yuzay Ramzan, people talk about the championship in the provinces and the different provinces to become champion in the province. But for me, the creme de la creme is the national championship, with all due respect. I mean, I know there are provincial champions and that, but in the real context of things, the national championship is the one that matters. So they've got these the provincial championships, which means something in the province, but nationally they pale into insignificance, really, don't they? They pale into insignificance.
Well, that's why I asked you, so the province championship between the 2 must be close.
Yeah, that must be close. I don't really look at that. It probably is close. I think Ramzan is probably ahead of Stradham because Ramzan is resident there. So again, you have to take into context that Ramzan's resident there. Stradham travels all over. So obviously Ramzan is going to beat Stradham. So it's, anyway.
Nico, just that question came up from people. Why is Carl Stradham riding Trickster and not Richard Fourie? And we were trying to get to the bottom of this. And then someone said to me that Snaith has given him the drive to help him win or to get close to Ramzan. Well, I don't know if there's any sense in that. But it does seem strange that Richard Fourie is not riding Trickster. I was also... gave me some doubt. And then why was not the large Lewitson booked to ride a Global Drummer?
Yeah.
And again, the question came up that...
they are probably... it does probably into the equation. And maybe they can shed some light on that. And it probably is the case. But that's a provincial championship, and that's, that's something that is fought out in the provinces. But... there's no doubt Carl Stradham, who's had a cracking season, will be crowned the champion apprentice of South Africa when the Equus Awards are given out in August next month. NapBet's race 3, number 4, De Capo, and race 6, number 8, Trickster. Value bet for Nina is race 4, number 2, Chicago West. So that takes care of our racing. It's a cold weekend scheduled to be down where you are in Cape Town as well as in Joburg. So we're looking forward to a great weekend of racing ahead of the Gold Cup next weekend. Any thoughts on the Gold Cup?
Well, what a Gold Cup field. Man, I have had a look. I think it's a minefield of a race. Nebraska and that Joey Somers horse, but he's lumping a lot of weight there, isn't he?
Carrying a hell of a lot of weight. Ordinarily, that would have been my selection to trump the field, but it is carrying a lot of pudding. Snaith's horse must be a runner. Silver Host must be a runner.
I think that. Nico, that's my first choice.
Yeah, that's
my first choice.
Probably because of the weight. I'd be shifting towards that.
I've had a better look at that race, even though it's a very, very competitive race, but I think I'm going to go with Silver Host.
Well, we've got a week to think about it, and you know what? We've also got a week to do is just to let people out there know, and this is a sneak preview for the people out there, that we are going to be doing the Clocking the Gallop extra tipping service. Now, this was very popular, Nino, at the beginning of this month when we did it for the Joburg, for the Durban July, for the Vodacom Durban July weekend. But this is a sneak preview, and I'll be doing a separate video on this later on today, that you can get our Clocking the Gallop weekend package for the 5 meetings next weekend, starting on Friday with the Fairview Turf meeting and going through until the Monday, the 2nd of August, with the Fairview Polytrack meeting. But we're doing a special, Nino. If you book for all 5 meetings, instead of paying the 5 times 50 Rand, which is 250 Rand, you'll get it for 200 Rand. So that's a discount of 50 Rand if you sign up for all 5 meetings. You'll get a sheet of paper with all our selections and all our suggested bets per day. If you just want to book for a particular day or pay for a particular day, then you can do that. But that's our information. And just to let you know, if I can just minimize you for a second, that we'll be putting this on a separate video. But if you do want to sign up and get the early bird specials, then you can do so by either emailing us with your deposit slip and your reference numbers to clockingthegallop@gmail.com, or by WhatsApping us on the number 07939054747. But it's very exciting for us, Nino, to be tipping to the public not only our selections that we do on the show, but also the various bets and bits and pieces in a more comprehensive package that we've got time to work it out.
Yeah, Nico, I think it's a brilliant layout that you put up here, and I quite like that discount of 50 Rand, so now it becomes like 40 Rand a meeting, which is
a steal.
Which is cheap. It's a steal, and I would just like to ask the people to support us for that weekend. You know, things have been hard, with the COVID, and we've all been struggling, and I just hope that the people support us, because we do really need to get some income.
Yeah, that's Nino will be doing 2 meetings, by the way. Nino does our selections for Fairview, so you can see the 2 meetings there. Gravel Turf will be our very trusted ghost rider, Nino, who is on a trot with those place accumulators. I think he's won the last 4 PAs on the trot.
Yeah, yes.
They've arrived time and time again, so he's in hot demand. So he'll be doing the Gravel meeting for the Gold Cup, the big Gold Cup meeting. Kenilworth will be Neil Andrews. He's sitting at home. He's recovering from COVID, but he's certainly looking at his books, and he'll be doing the Kenilworth meeting, and I'll be doing the Turfington meeting for Sunday, the 1st of August. But Nino, we've got to leave it there. We've run out of time. My thanks to you for today's selections, and we look forward to speaking to you next week again.
Yeah, thank you, Nico. And I'm hoping to get my selections back online again. I know it hasn't been great the past couple of weeks, but I'm sure it's just a matter of time before we get back into the groove again.
Well, maybe
it has been quite hard in PE, I must admit.
It has.
But we need to lift our game up a bit, and hopefully it comes in time for the
subscribers
for
the long weekend. Correct. Yes. And I think that it might do, and maybe the change of surface today from the turf to the poly will assist you to get back on track.
Correct. Thank you, Nico. All the best.
Thanks, Nino. All the best today. Cheers.